So we know that there are various elements to having a healthy home habitat, and I noticed your water feature. Can you explain to us a little bit about your feature here?
Sure, I'd love to, Sarah. So this is a very simple bird bath. Basically, a neighbor reclaimed an old insulating, or the interior of a chimney and mosaicked it, and I bought it from him. And I put just a ceramic tile on top with the base for a flower pot. That's it. That's my water feature. So it doesn't have to be expensive, it just has to be. It's very important for all kinds of wildlife, but especially birds, to have some kind of water feature in your garden. But the beauty is, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be a fountain, it doesn't have to be anything with water piped in. It can be this simple. Something this simple requires a little maintenance, maybe more so than a flowing water feature. So, of course, out in the Houston sun, there's going to be algae that grows up. So at least every other day, I'll just dump out the water, wipe it out, and refill it. And that way I make sure I have clean water for any critter that comes and drinks from here. The second thing is that certain invertebrates, like bees and wasps, I have found will go to the edge of the water feature and drink from it. However, they sometimes slip in. And once they fall in, it's really hard for them to get out again. So one of the things that I do is that I place a few rocks that poke out from the top of the water into the water basin, and I have recorded incidents where invertebrates have been able to pull themselves up on it and save themselves. So I've seen a bumblebee do that, and wasps and honeybees save themselves on it. I wouldn't put too many in if this is going to be a water feature for a bird, because then it will impede their access to the water, and of course they like to bathe in it too. It's not just drinking. So that's my counsel for that. This is not the only water feature I have, because I have smaller animals, reptiles and amphibians, that also need water and need shallower dishes. So around the garden I have little tiny shallow dishes, maybe about that shallow, maybe only about that big or a little bigger. Again, bottoms of pots or little soy sauce dipping dishes that I fill with water and change every other day. Again, making sure no mosquito larvae come up in it, making sure there's no algae. And I put those out, and indeed I've come out in the mornings and seen toads in those water basins. I see all kinds of insects drinking from them, and reptiles too. So I would suggest having a variety around. And in fact, to get the Certified Wildlife Habitat certification from National Wildlife Federation, having water for at least some type of wildlife is one of the 4 components that they have. So it is absolutely key, even if it's small, just like this.